reconnecting with our vaster self and becoming a blessing giver. So a vast is big, right? So a vaster self, our bigger self or higher self, as it's called. Yeah. So when we connect with our higher self, and which is basically the higher dimension of our being, so we don't exist only in the third dimension. We're not just here, physical body, and that's it. We have aspects of us that occupy many dimensions as well. And maybe these aspects, we connect with them when we are in sleeping and dreaming, and then that aspect of us that goes and travels and dreams and experiences that is one of our dimensions. It's it's us in another dimension. So it's the same. Yeah, vast means big, high is high. So it's two ways to describe the same thing. So what we will dive into is the concept of becoming a blessing giver, aligning our energies with the divine source and channeling blessings to the world. So this is a very interesting, it's a very interesting concept, that blessing. I traveled to Kazakhstan, and in that culture, the old cultures of the Silk Road, to them, to give a blessing to people, to pray for people, is such an important thing that people can travel 100 kilometers just because they know there is a foreigner that arrived, and that foreigner is somehow may have a blessing. They can give them a blessing, so they will travel and ask you to just pray for them, and you would sit and give them a prayer, and that's all they came for. Or they would come, bring their child, and then ask for a blessing. Or they give you a list of, my mother is sick and my uncle, whatever, and then you pray for them. To them, this is so important and so real. Because it's someone who doesn't know you and he prays for you. It's such a special thing than just someone who knows you as well. Of course, it's important if they know you, but for a stranger to come and actually give you a blessing, to them that registers on a high thing. And then they recognize that every person has the ability to bless others. And then that's where we started to get into this understanding of what is it to be a blessing giver. And then for us as light workers, as we call ourselves, where we are actually taking it seriously, fixing the planet, and going in a grid here and sending love across the grid into the planet and stopping wars. And, many of us are busy with this, just active with that. Meditations, global meditations, doing this kind of activity. It is a form of us giving blessings in a way. And now what we are going to be discussing is how we can maximize that, how we can really, to understand where does this blessing come from, why are we that instrument of blessing, and what does it mean, and how we can make it grow and become even more powerful in a sense. It's an ability, it's a blessing, it's a gift from the Creator to those who are just tuned to that same channel. So it's not our skill or our ability, it's really the sources flow through us that is doing the blessing. Some people made a business out of it, some priests and some Vatican things or whatever's, and they just made a business out of it. I'll bless you, but you pay me money, you give donation, do something. And that actually stops the blessing. The awliya Allah, salihin, the actual people who have that ability, they never, you will be insulting them if you give them money. They will just not accept it at all. Otherwise, it will stop it. Yeah, there's no money, there's no cost for this, no price for it. So now, aligning our energies with the divine source and channeling blessings into the world. Okay, so what is the vaster self, or the higher self? So the vaster self, it's a British way of saying it, I think. Often referred to as the higher self, is the part of us that is connected to divine consciousness. It is the essence of who we truly are beyond the limitations of the physical body and mind. So we are actually truly the vaster self, having a body and mind, not a body and mind trying to connect with its vaster self. We are actually the vaster self, with a body and mind to function in this 3D world. So by reconnecting with our vaster self, we realign with the wisdom, with the love and guidance that flows from the source. So somehow we got disconnected from that, and society and our education and everything just separated us from that. Maybe to be able to control us, maybe to be able to do things with us that we may not be interested in doing, but we are forced to do it, you know, like join a military and go and get killed for some reason, you know, something like that. So you have to separate from a higher self, because if you're connected with your higher self, that just doesn't make sense. So the higher self is constantly guiding us, offering us insights, clarity, and direction. So there's a constant link. Now, whether we're tuned to it or not, that's our duty to figure that out. But it's there always, and it's trying to reach us. And sometimes it's trying to communicate to us. If you don't get the message, it can maybe get something and just hit us with it so that we can wake up. It definitely will get our attention at some point. It communicates through intuition, inner knowledge, and deep feelings of resonance. So it is that the feedback usually comes, you either feel resonating with something or you feel repulsed by something. That is one of the ways that the higher self communicates with us. Or it gives us inner knowing. You just know the answer or know what is the right solution, but you didn't really logically reach a conclusion. It just happened like that. Or a deep feeling. You just feel a gut feeling like, okay, this is what I want to do, or this is what I shouldn't do. So as we align with this divine aspect of ourselves, we become more attuned to our purpose, and our lives begin to flow with greater ease and harmony. So obviously there's a purpose to our life. We didn't come just randomly to do nothing and to just be tortured and then die. You know, it's just not how the universe works. There is a purpose, and if we don't know it, the higher self is gonna try to move us in different ways or push us in different ways until we finally find it. Maybe we'll get into traumas, and maybe we'll get into real nasty people to kick us into another path that we went too far away from it. But eventually we will get to our purpose. That's what we are supposed to do, to find out our purpose. When we know our purpose, our life will start to flow perfectly. It's like, okay, there's a river and we were trying to swim against the river and it was just horrible. And then now suddenly we're in the flow and we don't have to do anything and we're just flowing perfectly. It's that way. So once we understand our purpose, the flow makes it much easier. When we give love selflessly and it returns 100-fold, since it is a universal law and the energy that we put into the world reflects back, and every kind word, action, and thought ripples through the universe, and then it responds with more love. Therefore, we are a source of blessing if we are tuned that way. And when we trust that and we understand it, when somebody comes and tells you, oh, my parent is sick or someone is not feeling well, could you pray for them? Or you tell them when you hear the news that someone is not feeling well, that I will send you a prayer. That is not just a kind thing only to say. It's actually, you are actually sending something that can contribute to someone getting well. There's power in that. It's not just a nice thing to say or just a polite thing to say. It's actually a powerful thing, and that's why people seek it, and they drive 200 kilometers in Kazakhstan to meet someone, then say, please just make a prayer for us. Seriously. These cultures there, they believe in this so strong that it just sort of brought it to my attention. It's like, you are that serious about it? You know, I mean, we hear pray for anybody just normally as a general thing. But it actually has so much power that we almost forgot how important that is.
Come from an authentic place.
Anything has to come from an authentic place, or it doesn't matter. But when you understand the importance, I mean, they think it's from an authentic place, they drove 200 kilometers. You better be serious about it when you give it, seriously. When somebody gives you a child and say, please pray for my child, and you just bless the child. It's your connection with the source that they are asking you to connect as well, and then somebody else connects and somebody else connects. الوصلات دي كلها, all these connections mean a lot, and we just lost the understanding of how important that is. Yeah, so becoming a blessing giver means embodying the energy of love, light, and kindness. So you now become a channel of love, light, and kindness when you're sharing it. And again, it's not just a matter of somebody's not feeling well or something. If we're sitting today and we're concerned about the state of the world, let's say, and there's wars and there's death and there's injustice, and we want to do something about it, that is a huge thing that we can do. It's one person can do a lot. It's not something that, yeah, of course you need more and more people, but still even one person can have a very huge effect. So we shouldn't just be sitting feeling hopeless and that we are just powerless and the world is going down the drain and we have nothing to do about it. No, every one of us, if we put our intent into shifting things, we actually have an effect.
Your destiny? Will it shift your destiny? Like the one that tells you to just pray for his child.
Yeah.
If this is a child destiny, for example, saying that, okay, that maybe he will be whatever.
Destiny is just a fork in the road. You can go this way or that way. And the decision at that moment can shift everything. There's no such thing as destiny that you have no choice about it. احنا مش مسيرين. We are not predestined, actually. Every decision will shift us into another direction or another. The mukhayyar and musayyar discussion, But we are not, it's not like you're doomed for this, whether you prayed or not, the person is going to be hurt or something. It doesn't work like that. You can actually shift everything by adding 2 or 3 people wishing for a situation to change, then you will change it. Because we have that power as human beings. So there's no such thing as destiny if we interface with it with our consciousness and decide another thing, we can shift it. Then we're going to pay the consequences of that. It's not like there is a path, and if we try to get out of it, we're going to go fall back into it again, and we try to get out. Who decided that, and where is our free will then? And then how can we be judged if it's already, the result is determined for us? It doesn't make sense. So destiny is for random people. They're just going randomly, and they're not taking charge of their life, and they're not making decisions and navigating. Then yeah, they have a destiny because it's just going to be a flow, and they're going to hit a wall at the end of it or kind of go somewhere else. That's just random. But if you're someone who's actually every step, every thought, word, and action, you're consciously doing it from love or something, then you're in charge of your life. And the way we talked yesterday about the rising above the influence of the stars and things like that, maybe we'll share that after. We are above the zodiac effects. We are above what we think is bad luck or good luck or something. We are above that. And therefore, we are the ones who are navigating our life by our decision. Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to make a comment. Actually, when you really are in touch with your higher self, you are co-creator. And this is what in the Quran is expressed in وَمَا رَمَيْتَ إِذْ رَمَيْتَ وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ رَمَى. It's not you, but you have the responsibility and you can do it.
The ability.
The ability to do it. But it's on a higher level.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. So when we become a blessing giver, we align ourselves with the highest frequencies of love, And this brings blessings not only to others, but also to ourselves. So we're channeling this blessing from the universe, from the source, and we're giving it to someone. It's already giving it to us as well. Provided that we're not getting paid for this. Or we're not doing it for ego. It's like, okay, see how important I am. I'm the Pope and people are coming and I'm this big guy. You don't do that. This is not, actually, this is the reverse. This is coming from the darker side, the ego.
And it's not even just from the high priests or priestesses. It's also, even if it's a random person who maybe is humble, does not come from like maybe comes from a poor, and then you try to even give them money, but then I think the lesson for me was that, and that's what he told me, like he said, gifts are not to be paid for. Like blessings are not to be paid for.
Right.
So just receive.
It's true. But there is this vegetable lady that sits on the street here, and she's like 3 o'clock in the morning, and she's an old lady and sitting on the sidewalk with vegetables and just sleeping, you know? And then you just I give her money usually, just put it in her pocket, and she wakes up and she gives you a blessing, a prayer, and she prays for you. That is one of the most powerful prayers you will get.
Yeah, so even a blessing giver doesn't need to be someone who's rich. It could be someone who's just very humble.
It's just the soul connected to the source, and that's it, you know, which everyone is, ideally. Yeah. So blessings flow from the heart through our thoughts, words, and actions. It's not complicated, and we don't need to learn it. It's like there's no technique. It's really just speaking and acting or thinking. Even if you don't speak it, if you think of a blessing, you're sending really deep good wishes to someone without even speaking it. That's already happening. So every act of kindness, every positive intention sends ripples of love and healing into the world. The intention alone, just I want to go and do something, but you didn't go and do it, that intention alone did it. It had the ripples. Yes. Yeah. So as we give blessings freely, we tap into the infinite flow of the universe, receiving love and blessings in return. So just give it for free. Yeah, it's like a currency, universal currency. Yeah.
Hop on the train.
Yeah. Yes. So aligning with the higher self for blessings, how do we do this? So when we are connected with our vaster self or higher self, we become clear channels for divine blessings. So we need to align with our higher self and become one with it. And then we are a channel of this type of blessings. Our energy radiates with peace, love, and joy, which naturally uplifts those around us. So when we are aligned with our higher self, we are just radiating love and joy and peace. And people, we're influencing people whether we are aware, conscious of it or not. You just walk into a mall and there's like a couple of hundred people that pass by your auric field, which extends like what, 30 meters or something. You're practically touching all these people and shifting their energy. Without them knowing it and without you intending it, it's just happening, you know. And then there's ripples of that. They go in their way, but then things shift for them, and then things change in a way like that. And that's the beauty of this alignment. So by living in alignment with our higher self, we not only enhance our own lives, but also become vessels of healing and light for others. So you're a healer already by just wishing someone well. If you hear of someone not feeling well and you just tell them, you know, I send you prayer or something, that already heals them. So the ripple effect of blessings. So every blessing we give creates ripple effects in the lives of others, and it changes and changes, and they give it to others and give it to others. So it becomes like a continuous wave like that. The energy we send out touches hearts, transforms situations, and inspires others to pass on the love they've received. So it's not only helping them shift a certain situation, they also can start going and helping other people as well and becoming a source of blessing as well. So could you imagine the ripples of that, how it can transform the whole world in a way? And if we don't do that, how the dark have taken over, because this process or this practice stopped. It stopped becoming popular. It stopped becoming the way people live. But certain cultures are still keeping it, and it was really a surprise to see that some people are still in certain countries living like that and truly believing in the power of this, which was really a wake-up call to realize that. Yeah. Yeah. In this way, we contribute to the collective healing and transformation of the world. So if we really want to heal and transform the world, this is the way to do it. Connect with the higher self, and just, it is a form, it is unconditional love. A blessing is you're just sending a wave of unconditional love and you're not expecting anything back. So that's kind of the application of the unconditional love thing. But this is explaining to us what the effects of it is going to be and what the results of that wave will be like. Then we can go and do it intentionally now. So it's not just our interpersonal relationships with people and the unconditional love. What we're doing now is you're sending these waves of healing to the whole world and to the planets and affecting other people, and they start also changing others as well through that unconditional love. So becoming an open channel. To become a blessing giver, we must first open our hearts and align with the flow of the divine love. This requires us to clear away any blockages or fears that prevent us from fully receiving and giving love. Receiving and giving, again, it goes back to this. I can be giving, but I don't receive. I don't know how to receive love. That will be a block, and it will be something that will take some healing to deal with. Many people will just be giving more than receiving, or they don't know how to receive love. And then they will be in that cycle. So we clear away the blockages or fears that prevent us from fully receiving and giving love. So it's the blocks that are made from fear that will make us not receive love. When we are open channels, blessings flow effortlessly through us, bringing healing to ourselves and others. The power of blessings. So blessings are powerful because they come from a place of pure love and intention. They carry the energy of healing, protection, peace, and abundance. So anybody who would want support, the support will be, okay, they're not feeling well, they need healing. Or they're worried and they need protection. Or their life is traumatized and chaotic and they need peace. Or they're having abundance issues and financial issues. Practically, this is all the areas that people will need support or would need a blessing in it. And it all comes by that alignment. So you'll be providing a healing, protection, peace, and abundance. When we give a blessing, we become co-creators with the universe, helping to manifest positive outcomes in the lives of others. So it's like, it's not me as a person that is doing it. It's like now we rise and connect with the higher self, and now we are co-creators with the divine will or with the divine intent to bring positive outcomes in the lives of people, others. So let's have this affirmation and then we go into our meditation. So I am a vessel of love, light and blessings. As I reconnect with my higher self, I become a channel for divine blessings. The blessings I give return to me multiplied. And I trust in the infinite flow of love. Okay. So many of us are involved now in healing the planet, you know, trying to support the planet during this transition time and putting a lot of energy in it. I mean, a lot of our dear friends, they make trips and go traveling and do all kinds of activities and meditations at strange times of the day and night, depending on when we are gathering together. We're sending these blessings to the planet and to the world to be balanced more and have the light shine on the darkness and bring the results that we wish for the world to have. So when we connect with the higher self and trust in our flow, that flow of the blessings, what we're trying to do with the world is really to give it a blessing. And a blessing means that we're channeling the flow from the universe, from the source, through us, to the planet, to the people, to everybody. It's multiplied, it's very powerful. Because we're not doing it for money, we're not doing it for ego or recognition. I mean, most of us are just sitting in our rooms with our doors closed, and we're doing this, you know. So that is where the power is, because it's not us personally who is doing it. It's we're channeling the universe's flow through us to achieve this outcome. And it will get supported and it will be multiplied.